Well, hello everybody and welcome to MikeyTaylorGaming, where today we're taking a look into the world of Spyro Reignited Glitches on the PS4 and the Xbox One. Now, I know this game was just released for the PC and the Switch earlier this week, but unfortunately I don't own either of those versions, so if any of you that do could try them out and leave it in a comment or over on the Twitter that I've got that no one seems to realise exists, then that'd just be awesome. I'm going to let you guys get on with this because there's so many awesome things to see. I hope you all enjoy, and I will see you all at the end card. For a change in this series, why don't we start off with one of the great glitches that you can find in this game, just to give us a glimpse of how broken it really is. The second you load up Spyro 1 and land in the Artisans Homeworld, walk over to this section of wall, wiggle Spyro left and right, and he should just pop right through the wall to the other side. I don't know about you, but I think this is a great introduction to the world of Spyro glitches, and it just gets better if you jump off the world and fall below the skybox. After less than a minute of falling, you'll be able to see each of the Artisan level skyboxes are loaded in the distance, which is pretty amazing to see. But if you don't think that looks cool enough, it looks way better if you glide out of bounds. If you jump off the ledge and head towards the sun, after about 6 minutes of gliding and a few strange looking shapes in the air, you'll escape and it'll look like you're surrounded by planets. You can actually just about reach some of the other skyboxes if you fly from this ledge too, but it takes a long time to get to them. I'm not sure exactly how much time, but I'm pretty sure this took about half an hour to get to. Plus, even when you do reach one of the others, you won't be able to do anything because Spyro is already below the death plane. So unless you want to waste your time, I'd stick to just seeing the other skyboxes. It's way more fun. If you take a look around, you can see that the clouds are loaded in the other levels too. If you compare it to the Artisans Homeworld behind us though, it looks like the models are definitely missing from the other levels. But why these skyboxes are loaded when you're never supposed to be able to see them in the first place is a complete mystery to me. It does make me wonder why the loading times in this game have to be so long though. I mean, the skybox is already loaded, it can't take too much longer to load a level, right? One more thing about this glitch is that if Spyro falls for long enough, then he'll just decide to disappear. This isn't visually impressive because there are no visuals, but it's something, so there you go. If you're already entertained, sat there thinking that this was a great glitch, then you're gonna love what's coming up in the rest of this video, because I swear we are only scratching the surface here. Next up is another one of the more interesting glitches that you can find in the game, or should I say, could find. I think this one was patched out very recently in the 1.03 update, but that just means you're going to get to see a piece of glitching history here. In Spyro 2, after playing all the way through the game until you reach the Ripto fight at the end, there's an epic glitch that'll make it twice as hard for you to beat. If you love a challenge, then this is definitely the glitch for you. All you've got to do is play through the start of the fight until you've got him on the ropes with just one hit point remaining. Then for the final hit in this phase, collect 3 blue supercharge orbs to activate the power-up. Now that you're all set up, first flame him and then quickly supercharge him to take away the last bit of health. The flame interrupts the animation of the final hit, and instead of seeing Ripto fall to the floor like he normally would, you'll see that he starts to run away. I mean, this doesn't look like it should be a big deal, but trust me, when the next phase of the fight loads, you'll get an unpleasant surprise of 2 Riptos. One of them's riding on the back of the mechanical gulp as intended, and the other's running around the stage like in the first phase. To make things difficult here, both of them attack you with normal attacks, making it twice as hard to dodge everything. Plus, they both collect the power-up orbs that are being thrown onto the stage too, which isn't really that convenient. In fact, it seems a little unfair to me, but it should still be a piece of cake, right? I could do it with my eyes closed. Clearly not a struggle. Oh, it's a lot more difficult than it looks, actually. If you manage to beat this part of the fight, then after phase 2, the whole ground breaks away and we can see the entire battlefield being swallowed up by lava with no sign of our friend clone Ripto. Luckily though, he's absolutely fine. He seems to have learned how to walk on lava in the time that the cutscene took place. He's only a visual in this part of the fight though, since he can't attack us all the way up here, but it's still funny to see how persistent he is. Plus, to be fair, it shows that he really does hate dragons if he's going to this amount of effort to kill us. I think it's fair to say that this glitch is totally unhelpful, but people have actually taken it and made it into a challenge for themselves to try and defeat the duplicated boss whilst taking no damage. If you ask me, I think these people are absolute madmen, but it's very impressive, I've got to say. It's almost as impressive as the glitch that lets you swim in air on the original games, but what if I told you there's a way to climb on fresh air in this game? I mean, look at this. Is this not something that you want to know how to do? Well, it's actually one of the easiest glitches to get working, so let's have some fun. The only things you need for this glitch is a superfly gate and a ladder that you can reach before the power-up timer runs out. In Glimmer, these two things are in the exact same place, so this is completely effortless. If you have the power-up active, you just need to fly onto any ladder or climbable surface, and that's it, you've activated the glitch. Don't believe me? Well, start climbing the ladder and you'll see for yourself. Instead of jumping off the platform, Spyro just keeps on climbing and climbing and climbing. Even though Spyro's climbing, he'll constantly be moving forward, which isn't really helpful considering he's heading towards a wall. But there's always a workaround for something like this. You've seen this series before, I'm sure. If he touches the wall ahead, he'll shimmy around it and change the angle of the climb as if it were a regular climbable wall. Because of the way this mechanic works, we can use it to climb outside of the cave. Slowly, sure, but it's obviously worth it once you're outside. In this wide open space, you can have Spyro climb as high as you like and wherever you like. The camera can be adjusted to look around, but since he's constantly moving forward, it's hard to actually see any of the area that you've come from. But that really isn't a problem since you can fly to any of the out of bounds areas that you can set your sights on. It's just a shame that most of the out of bounds areas don't have any collision in Glimmer. Not to mention that this time, flying into the distance will never ever get you out of the skybox like in the first glitch. Seriously, this is 30 minutes of flying away from the level, and it's just not happening, I'm afraid. That's not the same for the Metropolis level though. If you use the glitch here, you can jump out of bounds to find that there's no death plane out here, which means you can explore all the way to the edge of the skybox. This'll work in any level where there's a superfly power-up and a ladder in range of it, so try it out for yourself and see if there's any interesting collision or hidden artifacts that can be found out of bounds, like the one in the Fireworks Factory level in the original Spyro 3. Don't know why they never made that accessible, but you can access it through glitches. Oh yeah. Oh, and for all you lazy ones that can't be bothered with the setup, there's a ladder in the level Zephyr in Spyro 2 that'll get you out of bounds without even needing to use the power-up. Just jump, and yeah. Climb that wall, you free climbing master. We don't need money bags anymore, this is legit. Where the invisible ladder ends, you can fly out of bounds and have nowhere to land, but at least it's always a visual delight to see a level from underneath like this. There's actually another climbing glitch you can see whenever Spyro grabs onto a ladder. This one seems to work completely randomly because I have no idea how to activate it, but if you have him grab onto a ladder and then change the camera angle with the right analog stick, Spyro will start to spin around with it. I literally have no idea why this happens, but you can get him into some really odd positions if you mess around with the angles and the control stick at the same time. Another thing I found is that it seems to work on most ladders in the game, but I can't confirm it because I don't know how to do it. I don't know what it is about Toys for Bob, but they really couldn't quite get ladders and climbing right in this game, could they? A few of the best glitches in this game come from simply pausing it, and I'm not even joking. Just pausing on the same frame that something else is supposed to happen causes the game to get a little bit confused, to say the least. You can even go as far as to turn Spyro into Sonic the Hedgehog. To get this awesome effect, head into the level Crystal Glacier and unfreeze these 3 Eskimos who help launch you to the other side of the valley. Jump onto the seesaw and hit the pause button on the very first frame that you can exit out of the level. If the timing was perfect, you'll see our friend spin dashing his way back to the Homeworld. And as you've seen from the clip I've just shown you, it doesn't stop there. When the Homeworld is loaded, he'll keep this animation and be able to traverse the area like this. If that isn't impressive enough for you, I'm pretty confident that you're gonna be impressed with this next glitch. Sticking with the pause to glitch theme, this one can be done on any of the levels in any of the games, but more often than not it just leads to a soft lock. What you're seeing now is actually a soft lock caused by the glitch, where only the camera works. No other input will do anything, so as you can imagine, this is super fun. It's pretty cool to see that the airflow effect from the loading screen is still present, but this has got nothing on the levels that don't softlock by using the glitch. You're in for a huge visual treat here, trust me. At any portal in the game, if you pause buffer so that the start menu is active on the exact same frame that Spyro enters into the loading zone for that level, you'll see that the exit level option appears in the list of options, even though you're still in the Homeworld. If you decide to do the obvious and choose to exit the level, then you'll quickly see that the game gets completely confused, sometimes glitching the loading screen and even lagging it out. If you're lucky enough to use it on one of the levels that doesn't softlock, like here at Nasty's Loot, it'll kick you out into an out of bounds area. This one's a strange one because the level will load for a second and then it'll start to reload the Homeworld, removing all of the models and collision from the one you were dropped into. Then Spyro will just drop into the darkness of space. It's pretty similar to the first glitch where we could see all of the skyboxes, but this time there's only one area loaded in the distance and I'm not really sure what it is. It could be the Nork Nexus Homeworld that we were meant to load into, but who knows. After 20 minutes of flying straight into it, this is how it looked. So, yeah, your guess is as good as mine. Oh, the moon and green fog appeared too, so that's something. I really don't know what's going on here, but it's pretty cool. Another great place to use this glitch is in Spyro 2 at the Ripto's Arena loading zone. This can be pretty tricky since you can't see the exact boundary of the loading zone, but if you manage to activate the glitch you'll get the same effect and you'll be able to see Winter Tundra. Things like this just blow my mind. You've gotta love it when an out of bounds glitch doubles up and lets you see things that you're not supposed to be able to. You definitely need to try this one out for yourselves and see what other great out of bounds areas can be accessed by using it, because I'm pretty sure there are gonna be a lot more than I've shown off here. All these pause glitches are great and let you see a lot of unintended areas, but as well as these strange out of bounds glitches that you can activate from portals or climbing in the air, there are ways that you can get out of bounds just by wiggling around or jumping in the right way, and they really don't take too much effort. If you're like me, you've always wanted to get out of bounds in the Clifftown level where these annoying modern day electric fences surround the area to see what's in all that empty space. Well, this is actually a pretty easy place to get to. All you have to do is jump on the boundary statue thing in the corner of the area and then just jump again right over the top of it. Simple. My suspicions were right though, there's absolutely nothing out here. But still, I'm so happy that we finally have a way into this empty space. It seemed like a waste, so why is it even here? There are a few more frame perfect pause glitches left for us to check out, but before we go back to them, let's switch it up and head over to the fireworks factory in Spyro 3 where we can glitch out of bounds in yet another way. I'm sure we all know that there's a mission here called Bad Dragon where you've got to defeat 2 dragons using the combo power-up. Instead of doing the mission like the game wants us to though, why don't we just have the blue dragon push us out of bounds so that we can explore some more interesting places. Stand in the tunnel here and when the dragon eventually decides that it wants to make its way through, fly close to the wall and with a little luck its body will squash you against it and out of bounds where you can carry on flying. Glitching out of bounds like this lets you fly around the level wherever you want, even back to the main area or to the sub area where the Ninja HQ egg can be found. The only issue with this glitch is that the height boundary is set by the Bad Dragons mission, so it's impossible to fly above a certain height out here. That means that you can't see everything from above, which is disappointing, but hey, you're still somewhere that you're not supposed to be. I would have showed off what happens in the main area of the level, but I only got out of bounds once using this method because it's so difficult to get the timing and the angles right to be pushed out of bounds that after an hour of attempts I gave up on trying to get it to work again. If you want to take a break from all these fancy glitches and take a look at some of the easy to do and pointless things that the game has to offer, then the next couple are the kind of glitches that I know you all love. We've seen a lot of great glitches so far, and if you've been watching the video then you'll already know that, which means we've definitely got time for some of those pointless ones, and after 44 episodes I'm sure we all know that the more pointless the glitches are, the better they get. In the level Lost Fleet in Spyro 3, make your way to the skate race the Rhinox area, and when you're here just jump on the skateboard then quit the race, over and over and over again. After many restarts, the game will start to slow down quite a lot. So much that you can even get it to feel like slow motion. I guess that in some ways this doesn't count as a completely pointless glitch because you could use it to get an amazing frame perfect time during the race. But why would you want to do that? I know I wouldn't. I'll leave it up to you guys to decide whether this is pointless or if you would actually use it to get an amazing time. Regardless, if you decide you've had enough of slowing down the game, just leave the area to... Oh. The glitch seems to carry on out here. And it actually works everywhere else in Spyro 3 from now on too. It can apparently cause a couple of graphical glitches at the bottom of the screen too. Oops. One more thing I've noticed is if you compare the slow version of the game to how the game normally looks, it looks a lot darker. I'm really not sure why that is. The only way I've found to get the game back to normal is to quit out and then re-enter it again. One of the less forgiving glitches in this game for recovery. Heading back to the pause glitches now, where if you head to Dragon Shores in Spyro 2 and pause the game on the exact frame that you enter the trigger for the shooting range dialogue, the text box will appear on top of the start menu. Choose to exit the level like this and you'll be able to use a lot more of Spyro's abilities on the loading screen. And that's literally all this glitch is for. You can change the direction of his flight, make him hover, head bash, charge. Yeah, that's it. Oh, and the text box will stay on screen until you talk to another character, so at least there's a second effect to it, making it slightly better to look at. To finish this video off today, there's one more of these frame perfect pause glitches that you can activate in the Spyro 3 Speedway levels that I want to show off, and this is definitely one of the best ones. Saving the best to last as always. All you've got to do is pause the game on the frame that Spyro falls into the water on one of these levels, and when you choose to retry the level, the music will stop playing along with all the death planes and boundaries around the level being deactivated too. With no death planes, you can fly right through the water and out of bounds. Not only that, but you can fly all the way past the edge of the level, but you've got about a 10-minute time limit before the level automatically fails you, so you better make the most of your exploration time. It's kinda disappointing that the upper boundary is still active like in the Bad Dragon glitch, because it's always ace to be able to look down on a level from way up high, but at least you can still see it all from underneath, which is still pretty cool. And with that guys, it's the end of today's long awaited glitch picnic. I want to take a minute to thank all of the Patreon. That's right, the one Patreon who's been supporting the channel even though I've been inactive for so long, so big shout outs to Toadsbroad for understanding the situation that's led to such a long delay, but regular uploads are coming, I swear. So, as always guys, thank you all so much for sticking with me till the end, and I hope you all enjoyed. I'll be sure to see you in the next video, and don't forget, I love you all. Mwah.